Let us study centrally acting muscle relaxants. My name is Dr. Ashutosh Agarwal from SD Bihani College of Pharmacy, Sri Ganganagar. The learning outcomes, that is, after studying these slides, you will be able to classify the centrally acting muscle relaxants, give mechanism of action of centrally acting muscle relaxants, compare the centrally acting muscle relaxants with peripherally acting muscle relaxants, give adverse reactions of centrally acting muscle relaxants, and based on that, uses of centrally acting muscle relaxants. So, classification of centrally acting muscle relaxants, there are mefenacine and its congeners, then there are benzodiazepines like diazepam, GABA mimetic agents like baclofen and thiocolchicosides, centrally acting alpha 2 agonists like tizanidine, and newer agents include dantrolene, gabapentin, and progabaide. The mechanism of action of centrally acting muscle relaxants is they decrease the skeletal muscle tone and they act on cerebrospinal axis. They depress the spinal and supraspinal polysynaptic reflexes, inhibit or decrease the polysynaptic pathways in the ascending reticular formation, thereby affecting wakefulness. All have sedative properties and do not affect neuromuscular transmission. All the centrally acting muscle relaxant agents reduce rigidity, spasticity, and hyperreflexia. The mechanism of baclofen and diazepam are given here in this slide. So, baclofen interferes with the release of excitatory neurotransmitter like glutamate, and diazepam facilitates GABA A mediated presynaptic inhibition. So, based on that, there is reflection spot. So first we will compare the centrally acting and peripherally acting muscle relaxants. So centrally acting muscle relaxants are different from peripherally acting muscle relaxants in they decrease the muscle tone without reducing voluntary power, whereas the peripherally acting agents decrease the voluntary movements, or the voluntary movements are lost due to peripherally acting agents. Selective inhibition of polysynaptic reflexes in CNS is produced by centrally acting agents, and the peripherally acting agents block neuromuscular transmission. The centrally acting muscle relaxants cause some CNS depression, whereas the peripherally acting agents do not cause CNS depression. The centrally acting agents can be given orally, sometimes parenterally, but peripherally acting agents are always given by IV route. So the uses of centrally acting agents, these are mostly used in chronic spastic conditions and acute muscle spasms and tetanus, whereas the peripherally acting agents used for short term purposes or short surgical procedures. So based on these, adverse reactions will be weakness, muscle incoordination, drowsiness, dizziness, nausea and vomiting, heartburn, constipation, and diarrhea. So based on these, the centrally acting muscle relaxants can be used as in conditions like acute muscle spasm, torticollis, lumbago, neuralgias, and backache. They can be used to relieve anxiety and tension. Spastic neurological diseases can be cured, and tetanus can be treated with these. Mostly these are used for electroconvulsive therapy, and in minor orthopedic manipulations these agents can be used.